All right, Tiger. I need a notary in Chicago. Can you do audio?
Yeah, let's rock and roll, baby.
Ring, ring.
Thank you for calling U.S. Notary. This is Mark. How can I help you?
Hi, Mark. Do you have a notary service? Is this a notary?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Hi, thanks. What we're trying to do is, here's the situation. I'm a landlord here and I've got some tenants that that I'm trying to evict. And one of the tenants is that's somebody else. And one of the tenants is we're trying to get an agreement that I basically need them to sign the papers that about the condition of the property. And I talked to my lawyer, and my lawyer suggested that I try to go get a document notarized. I've never done this before, but um, can you help me out with that?
Absolutely. Okay, so are the tenants signing this document as well, or just you?
Just me.
Okay. And you already have the document in front of you?
Yeah, my lawyer made something, wrote a letter for me, and then just told me to go get it notarized. So I have the
Okay,
paper right
perfect.
here.
Not a problem. And okay, and you have a valid photo ID?
Yes, I do.
And how soon do you need to get this done?
Uh, I would like to get it done today, hopefully.
Morning? Well, we're already past morning. Afternoon or evening?
In the evening is fine. Afternoon or evening.
Okay. Can you hold one moment while I see what we have available?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks for holding. So we have a 6 o'clock, 7, and a 7:30 available. Which one works best for you?
6 o'clock.
Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to send you a text to your phone. Attached to that text is our calendar. All you have to do is book the time for the 6 o'clock, and it's also going to give you a free quote. If you have any questions, you can give me a call back, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. My name is Mark.
Okay, thanks, Mark. So am I going to get a call right now?
Well, you're not going to get a call. I'm going to send you a text to your phone. Can your phone receive text?
I'm actually calling from my business phone. This is a landline, actually. Can I give you my
Okay.
cell phone number?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Shoot.
It's 123 123 234.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So give me about 5 minutes. You'll receive a text, and attached to that text is our calendar for you to book the appointment, and you'll be able to select the time that works best for you. You'll also have your free quote there. Once your appointment gets booked, it'll come through on our end, and then we'll just confirm everything.
Okay. All right. Thank
Okay?
you, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
All right. Why do you use the hold technique? I'm always curious about that.
You said the whole technique?
Yeah, you say hold on while we find you appointment.
Oh, okay. Because people need time to process what, like for us, we're rapid fire because we've done it so much, and we're very quick, and we may be speaking over a lot of people's heads. They're like, man, what the hell just happened? They're dizzy. So you tell them to pause. One, it puts you in a position like, hey, we can't just book any appointment that you need, right? So you're positioning times that work best for you as the notary, not best for the customer. Because I might have shit to do. I might have to take my kids somewhere,
Right.
The second thing is you give them a chance to process what's going on. So you put them on pause, be like, okay, right? It's not like, hey, we have the whole day open. Pick whatever you want. You can't do that. Then it cheapens the value of your business when you do that.
And then, yeah, I agree. And then the evening time. So if I had said afternoon, what would you have given me? Like you said, 6, 7,
I
7:30.
gave you 3 after.
All right, and then do people pick the earliest one usually, or do they pick someone in the middle, or they wait to the end?
I've never measured that. It, you know what I mean? Because it varies per phone call. But I don't have a set time that I'm doing. I'm training the customer that I am in control of the phone call. So 3 times 3 slots, that's it. If you say, hey, I need this time, like we don't have that available. But if it's an emergency, we do have a critical response, right? And then that is an upsell, that is an upgrade. You're asking for a time that we do not have available. That
Uh,
makes sense?
yeah, and then you share that with them too. You tell them that this is. It's like, hey, I need these documents to be signed at 5:45.
Yeah.
Can you be here at 5:45 or between 5:45 and 6? And then you're not available, but do you say that too? Do you make that no?
We have a 5:30 available, so we can give you a window between 5:30 and 6 o'clock.
Then that's the, but you don't tell them about the upsell though, but you bake that in.
Yeah, I could bake that in. It's because the more I can get the customer to talk, the more I can find out is if this really urgent, if they called multiple places and they couldn't get help, it puts me in a position to give them the best service, also uh, optimizing my transaction stuff. So if I find out like, oh by the way, I need a for this, like, well, that's an upsell for me. Like, you don't have to go bother your neighbor and have your neighbors all in your business. We'll provide a third party witness for you, and then I just bring my wife.
Yeah. And then about the price, I
Yeah.
didn't ask
So
you the
like,
price.
right. So if you ask for the price, then I would do a quick recap, and then I'll get you conditioned to say yes, 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 yes. Then I hit you with the price.
Mm,
So you need a real estate document, correct? Well, John, let me make a quick recap. Okay. So you're looking to get a real estate document, correct? Yes.
yes,
And you need this done today, correct?
yes,
And the time that we're shooting for is 6 p.m. today, correct?
yes.
Great. The price will be $149.97,
Just like that.
just like that. Because once you get them accustomed to saying yes, their mind, the natural inkling is to say yes. And once they anchor themselves like that, I mean, this psychology, right? Once they anchor themselves to that yes, it becomes very difficult for them to back out like that. They're like, you know what? Let me just go ahead. You committed.
Yeah, it's hard to say no after you've just said yes 6 consecutive times, and then
Exactly.
to put them on the spot and say, "What? You change your mind all of a sudden? You don't no longer want this?" All right.
Right.
Well, it costs too much. I didn't think it would cost that much.
Oh, cost is relative, sir. You know what I mean? Like, it's for you, it may cost a lot. For other people, it's like pennies in a bucket.
It's
It
cheap.
depends on who
Yeah.
you are. Yeah, it depends on who you are. What is expensive to you or not. But I know for the company, that's what they charge for the type of document you're getting. You're getting a real estate document.
Mm, I like that. For the company, that's what the charge is.
Yeah, the more objections, the better, because it gives me the intelligence that I'm looking for to be able to have rebuttals for. So you expensive, I hit you with something like that, or I may hit you with something else. But each objection, you guys, you should have at least 3 rebuttals, minimum 3 rebuttals for each objection. And most of the objections are pretty consistent. It's going to be price, it's going to be time, there'll be like maybe a couple of other straggler concerns, but for the most part, you could pretty much narrow it down to maybe 5 strong objections. So for those 5, have 3, minimum 3 rebuttals. That's mediocre level 3. I would have at least 7 or more, to the point where you can flow off the top of your head. No matter what they throw at you, you can dance around it very easily into your favor.
This video has a great objection here. She's talking about, I don't my debit card. You know, I don't have a debit card. Somebody tried to steal my ID. Somebody tried to steal my identity, and then I have to go get a new debit card. Right? That's an objection because they don't want to pay for it in advance because they don't have a debit card. So, do you take cash? All right.
We don't take cash. But how the hell you got to get the cash out? You ain't got no debit card. Right? So unfortunately, we do not take that. It depends on, but it depends on the individual. If you're comfortable taking cash, I strongly recommend you take the cash before you notarize the document, because they could do a snatch and run on
you. Yeah. So you guys hear that? Get the document, get the cash first before you stamp or sign anything.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say
it happened to me.
Yeah,
it's happened to me. Don't let it happen to you. Also, it's like, I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate. Is there someone else's credit or debit card that you use? I go, just keep going in for the kill. Right? Like a mother or a friend or spouse credit card that you can use. And then once you get your credit card, you can just repay it back. I mean, because here's the biggest thing. When you take a consultative approach to business, you're basically a firefighter and you're putting out fire. Sometimes they're going through some serious things in their life they can't think through. They're making a phone call that they probably had to make before, which is getting a notary. I've never had to get a notary before. The court system said I had to get this. My soon-to-be ex-wife said I had to get that. The doctor that is taking care of my mom said I have to get a medical power of attorney. They're not thinking straight. So your job is to be like, okay, calm down. I understand you're going through some stuff right now. Like in this phone call, a lawyer had to issue out the paperwork, right, Tech?
Right.
You think this guy wants to pay for his lawyer?
So I'm calling the notary.
Right, and it's the lawyer that's making him get a notary. He doesn't want to do that. He would have just took the document that the lawyer drafted up and served the person. But this is an extra step that he would have to do because the lawyer's making him do it. So there is fire behind this guy's back. He's not doing it at his own accord. And a lot of times when the person reaches out to a notary, there's another entity behind them that is forcing them to do that. If you identify that entity, and then you can actually beat your customers to the punch.
Yeah, I'm a landlord and I've got some tenants there. I'm trying to evict them, and I've got, went to my real estate attorney, and then, I tried to get something done, but he gave me what best he can do, which is basically this letter. The type of document, I don't know, it's I don't know, it's a service, it's an affidavit. I don't know what it's called.
Now imagine if the notary knew the name of that document. Oh, you have a R2437 document on the top. Yes, that's exactly what it is. You just won that person's trust. Mm-hmm. Oh, I called the right place. That's like going to a chiropractor and say, I'm having pain in my lower. Is it more on the right side? Like, do you feel it when you're on the treadmill and they're diagnosing it? like, that's exactly what it is. Are you gonna go leave that office and look for another chiropractor? You'll be like, okay, like when can we start working together?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Be no brainer. Yeah. It's always interesting to me when people say they specialize in estate planning documents or they specialize in trust documents because you can identify certain titles and names of documents, but I wouldn't get caught up in that. I would just say you can, if you can identify the notarial blocks, you can specialize in basically anything, right? But there's forms, like for example, I get, just because of the immigrant population here, we get a lot of those passport applications, which I know is a DS-58 form, right?
Yeah.
And I did one for a guy on a Sunday. I barely spoke any English, but I know based upon what he was saying, he was like, passport application. Oh, yep, that's a DMV. You got that from DMV, DS, passport application, DS-40, DS-58, and then you got to get a minor, or if it's for a passport for a minor, then the spouse has to sign it, and that's a specific form. So I've gotten a lot of those recently. But I'll like if I've never even considered about throwing that specific name out because I didn't want to assume that that's, even though I know what they're doing. I didn't want to assume that's what, because I could be wrong and then at risk of confusing the person. But both times I was right, and I could have thrown it out there, and then that could have definitely positioned you at a much higher status.
Yeah, and then that because you position yourself as a higher authority, you can actually charge more for that because it's not like you're hiring an apprentice plumber or an electrician. You're hiring a seasoned vet. Like your problem will be solved, period. And you have to start separating yourself from the mediocre and these other notaries that are just out here. That's why I said you guys are doing a great job, and bravo to the Brain Box, because you guys are 90% far more efficient than most of these notaries out here.
Yeah,
the ones that just answer the phone, hello, like you're already blowing them out the water.
This one next week, you'll hear exactly that. This is how not to answer the phone. So this is the one that you're gonna get. Yeah, she answers the phone.
Hello?
Hi, is this a Notary Public?
Yes, 1 second. Hello?
Hi, I'm calling about a Notary Public.
Oh, hello. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm want to know if you're available for a 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like you're already light years ahead. Imagine if I was a real customer. I was a real customer. I'm the CFO of Pinterest.
Yeah, you're hanging the phone up. After she identified herself as a notary, she didn't even convert to professionalism. She was like, yeah, well, okay, well, what's up? What you need? Holla at me.
Unprepared, caught off guard.
Yeah.
Not ready, completely not ready. This is the advantages of having the second cell phone. All right. Her boyfriend answered the phone first, or her husband answered the phone. He has a kid in the background. If I'm somebody who's spending $600 or $100, any hard-earned money, I'm trying to get something done completely on the behalf of my grandmother or just something that's corporate related, anything. And then I hear this, how much confidence do you have? People like to be impress them. And then you call your own shot. So you guys have the confidence. You guys already have the tools. So we've already gone a little bit over. Closing thoughts. Any last closing thoughts? And then we'll get out of here.